No, I mean, this really grew a lot. Oh, you're releasing the Krakens.
Release the Kraken.
Or what do we call these again? Polynesian Asian jungle worm?
They've been called Asian jumping worms, but they are in
Oh.
fact Oklahoma's native night crawlers.
And roly-polies. Yeah, this
Where did they
raised
come
bed
from originally? I don't
needs
know.
some work.
But this is where they live now. And
Your raised bed.
if I don't want this mostly clay bed that I tried planting onions into to be worthless for growing anything but grass, it needs to have the biological activity provided by these
And we'll
worms.
feed it,
So we're adding them in, and then later on we'll go ahead and pull this grass out, and we will feed the grass to the worms and grow the onions, because people want the onions, they don't want the grass.
The grasshoppers don't even need the grass.
They don't want the grass.
Why are they called grasshoppers? It's
Okay.
random asparagus. Our backyard gets a little more shade now.
And
So,
back over here
not quite
we
as many
have-
grasshoppers.
We have
Dahlias.
dahlias.
Why are they all
And look,
leaning? Oh, that's right.
looky. This is the
Pinky
new
one.
flower variety that's just appeared. Very, very light pink. Very, very
I'll get
light
a
pink.
picture
A
of that guy.
little tiny bit savory, mostly sweet. So it has more flavor than those fuchsia colored ones.
And a black locust trying to
And
attack
black
us.
locust is right next to
Ow. Ow.
it.
Jeez.
All right.
A mosquito bite right in the middle of my back of my knee.
All right. Dig down. Dig down.
Stink bug.
So this is all worm castings
And random
and some worms.
sprouts.
And
some
there's sprouts of something in here too. Yeah.
Probably grass. Just 'cause of
Yeah,
everything.
whatever. Yeah. No, it stops the seeds from germinating. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Well, worm castings? How would you do that?
Okay, so
Who started this nonsense?
apparently,
Don't say a PhD.
a PhD. Sorry.
That-
So
I mean, don't say
no, apparently, so
Why
for,
would
for
they-
some university types, it's better that they have an answer than they necessarily take the time and effort to research and come up with the correct answer. You know, and as long as nobody ever calls them on their BS, then
Well,
everybody
definitely
just
wasn't an
assumes.
ag PhD. There's no way it was an
Yeah.
ag PhD.
Well,
Farmers should know better.
the,
They got a PhD.
The impression I actually got is maybe the reason why this idea of invasive earthworms appears at all is
confusing them with something
no,
else?
I think it may be an attempt to vilify the European colonists that came and brought their invasive selves along with their invasive worms to the New World. Oh, the shame. That's just
wild.
That's just the wickedness of the white man, obviously, right? Because if the white man brought it, it must be bad.
Wait, where do you go? Where do you go? Oh, guys, go away. Oh, where you
But it's
going?
also incredibly arrogant to think that the earthworm did not exist here already.
There had to be. I mean, there has to be something in that niche. How do they?
Something was filling
Shove
that
baby
niche
trees.
in the
Palm trees,
forest
of course.
ecosystems before white people got here, and also if these creatures did not arrive until the white man got here, then why
What was-
then why is this the
And how did
old
they go
Indian
extinct?
trick going back pre-contact
Yeah.
that was used to get worms for going fishing with, going to these piles of dead vegetation in the forest and raking them aside with a stick to get your worms.
So they had that. Oh,
Well, I mean-
mosquitoes. Well, they also like to
I
put
didn't
out.
just accidentally discover how to go hunting for worms in the woods.
Well, they
I
also.
was taught.
Yeah, they also.
And I wasn't
taught
taught
the-
by white folks.
I think they're the ones that also taught the white people who showed up randomly on their beach how to put out decaying material and cover it up to hide it from the sun. I guess to draw more worms to their whatever crop.
Why not?
That was the story of the week I told at Thanksgiving. Is
Have fun there, you guys.
that's it. You get worms, go get your fish, and then you
Catch your fish.
and then you put your fish, cover it up with something.
Whatever is left of the fish after you get done eating the parts of the fish that
Would
you like.
bring more worms.
Bring more worms. Yeah.
You need the worms. I think it was Thanksgiving they told us that how the red man saved the white man or something like that.
Well,
They're
they've
kinda-
now changed it to how the white man screwed up the red man's homeland by introducing an invasive species.
Did he already had too many of, I guess.
Well, I'm pretty sure like their entire assumption is based upon looking at a genetic. There is something off with that.
Your sprinkler?
Yeah, it's not going all the way up. Did you see that?
I guess we'll be right back.
So you did a genetic comparison of worms in Europe to worms in North America, and you discovered see, yeah, it's not going all the way over. It's only going to the right side.
It fell over.
Something happened to it. All right. Anyway, we'll fix that in a minute.
We'll have to walk to the other side.
Well, if there's a genetic similarity between North American worms and European worms, then the question then becomes: when did the North American worms make it to Europe, so that Europe could have North American worms?
Or Asian worms.
But the only time that they can think of contact is whenever they built ships and they crossed over, ignoring the fact that people had already built ships and crossed over
I'm gonna bet
back
you
and forth many times and many years before
They're liking it
the
too
Europeans had figured out that the world wasn't flat.
I'm also thinking like Polynesians, because when they started doing DNA testing, 23andMe and Ancestries and whatnot. Oh, wait for me. They found a lot of Polynesians are they're more closely related to each other than anybody else is related, and they're all over, and they're quote trapped on these islands from Australia to the Hawaiians.
Because they're too simple to build ocean-worthy craft to travel around the world, right? Oh no, it has to be the Europeans that build ocean-worthy craft to travel around the world first. They discovered everybody. Oh. You like?
They found white people in Asia, like European people in Asia, buried in the European style, because they were trading with Asia. And for a long time, they couldn't test to see what they were or who they were related to, and they're like, oh, these are white people. Oh. And the natives or locals buried them on the trade route that they worked. I can't remember.
Hey.
I think they're like the Viking type people. Those Vikings went everywhere. Okay, so you gotta fix your...
Yeah, leave it to the white people. Show up late for the party, take all the credit.
Maybe.
Right?
We've been trading with... they've been trading, basically, the flat plain of Russia was easy to trade across. Meet some Mongolians and they'll take you the rest of the way. Alright, good luck with that.
Or if you're that kind of loose that decides to just hang out on the plains, you can build a nice little community for yourself, live independently.
The ducks are lapping up all that puddle of water that just got made over there. Oh, yeah. They call Eastern Bloc now. The ducks are liking that puddle of water over there. So, I'll be back.